Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and but today I wanted to talk about the Oscars. I like every now and then I like to talk about the Oscars, even though the Oscars don't matter, but apparently they must matter enough that we're talking about them. So maybe we need to reflect on that a little bit, huh? But to talk about this, I wanted to bring in my good friend Noma Langa Mushali Moses from HealthyBlackWoman.com. How you doing today, Noma?
I'm doing great, boys. How are you?
I'm doing really well, really well. Now let me go down and look at the list of Oscar nominees for this year. Let's see. We have okay, Best Picture, The Big Short. I think that's a white movie. It's got Brad Pitt and stuff. Bridge of Spies, Steven Spielberg, white movie. Brooklyn, Mad Max, The Martian, The Revenant, Room, Spotlight. Looks like white, 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 white. Okay, and then Best Actor, Bryan Cranston, white guy. Matt Damon, white. Leonardo DiCaprio, white. Michael Fassbender, white. Eddie Redmayne, white. Okay, so we're successfully excluding the Negroes now. All right, I love it. Best Actress: Kate Blanchett, Brie Larson, Jennifer Lawrence, Charlotte Rampling, Sayorice. I can't even pronounce her name. Ronan. Okay, white, 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 white. Okay, so and I'm going down the list. I'm looking at Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress. From what I understand, all these people are white. Best Directors, all this stuff. So, okay, so once again, we have another Oscars where black people pretty much are locked out. What do you think about this? How do you feel about that?
I'm not. I know a lot of people are offended and angry about it. I'm not. I stopped being angry and offended about those kinds of things a long time ago. I remember when Lupita Nyong'o won an award. What's it been now? A couple of years, 2, 3 years? I can't remember. But anyway, when she won that award, I did say, "Wow!" So she wins that award when she's being a slave and treated badly, and that's the depiction that wins an award. I said the same thing a few days ago about Taraji B. Henson being Cookie and how she was awarded for that. Um, what I'm hearing a lot about in terms of people being outraged that people weren't nominated is Will Smith for Concussion, and is it Michael B. Jordan? I can't remember his Mike.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, Creed.
for Creed. And I haven't seen either of those movies, but I'm led to believe that they're pretty good movies. And I know that both of those men are good actors. But you have to look at the roles that they were playing in those movies. They were heroes. They were champions. And they weren't in a subordinate or submissive or downtrodden role. So it's to my expectation that that would not be rewarded. So I'm not angry, I'm not outraged, and I'm not surprised.
Hmm. I'm reading Variety, and I'm looking at an article by Tim Gray, the awards editor, and
Mhm.
he writes he says Creed was written and directed by the black Ryan Coogler and starred a black man, but the only nominee was a white man. Straight Outta Compton had a great acting ensemble of mostly young black unknowns and was directed by F. Gary Gray. But the film's only nomination for its screenplay was written by two Caucasians. Well, that's just weird anyway. Like we're getting
Mhm.
white people writing black stories. I mean, and black people love this. I mean, seriously, black people will gladly sign on and let a white person write their story, which is so strange. We're so weird. We just love white folks, don't we? We look up to them. They're our heroes. Last year, the hopes for diversity were based on one film, Paramount's Selma, which earned two nominations for Best Pick. This year, there were more opportunities, including Creed, Straight Outta Compton, and Chirac, as well as Beasts of No Nation. As with last year, the Hispanic Latino filmmakers were represented only by a couple of people that they mentioned. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so it is interesting. It's funny. I thought it would be fun to talk about the Oscars, but only because it's just something to talk about. Um, I see the racism. I mean, I see that you see clearly the whites only sign on the Oscars, right?
Right.
And I think that the Oscars, if I'm one of the people that makes these stupid decisions with the Oscars, where they pick these crappy films and decide that they're the best with some magic formula, I'm looking at black people and saying, how many languages do we need to use to tell you that we don't give a shit? Like when we don't like you, we don't respect your work, we don't need you, you're
We don't
not
defend
wanted
it.
here. Why
Right.
are you sitting outside? Like the poor pathetic people you are who have nowhere to go, and begging us to honor your work, which we don't even understand. We don't, it's not us, it's not our culture, right? I mean, that's what I'm thinking. If I'm one of these white guys making the decisions with the Oscars, one of these crusty old white men that's been around since Katharine Hepburn was a teenager, people like that. You know what I'm talking about? Where they
Right.
talk about these movies they loved and nobody knows what the hell they're talking about because it's like from 1958. Um, really looking at black people and I am baffled that black people have so much admiration for people who hate them so much. I mean, we really have nothing to do. You ever have that feeling? You ever seen that person that wants to be your friend, even though you're like, I've shown you in every way that I don't want to talk to you.
Right.
We're kind of like that. I mean, what do you think?
I agree with you. I mean, like I said, I wasn't angry or outraged or anything like that. It's just what I've come to expect. And there's a school of thought that, yeah, so we've been excluded or whatever, but we should be included and we should fight to be included. And if that's how a person feels, then so be it. But I don't feel that way. I'm of the school of thought of, have a little self respect and know when to turn around and walk away from somebody who's telling you that they don't want you. Maybe that's why I don't have a job. Maybe that's why I homeschool my kids, because that's the message that I consistently got when I was working, that somebody thought that I was less than what I was and I didn't agree with them. So I went somewhere else and did something else. When they made my kids feel like just being the only black kid in the class or being the only black kid in the school meant that they were the dumbest, I disagreed with that. So I took them out and went and did something else, which is homeschooling. That's just me, but I know that some people feel differently. I think I look at the Oscars and all these awards the same way. If somebody shows you what they think about you and it's not much, I don't understand why you would continue to keep beating down that door. I don't understand it.
Well, the only thing I can think of is that because black people as a collective are we're so undertrained when it comes to creating our own revenue, our own opportunities. We really want white folks to include us so we can get a piece of their money, right? We see Hollywood's big golden ticket, all this money and power that they have, and we don't know how to create it on our own. Many of us don't. So we say, well, I want to get in. I want to be included because I want to get some of what you've got, right?
Right.
Which, okay, that's fine. But the other problem that you just have is that it's almost like there's like a store that sells dignity and self-respect, and white people have a monopoly on that for us. Like we really feel that the Oscars, if you're an actor, the Oscars is the only place I can get that level of dignity and self respect because I certainly can't get it from myself because I don't like myself very much. I only like myself if white people like me. I can't get it from other black people because I mean black people are pretty worthless, right? That's the
Even their
thinking. That's
awards.
the thinking a lot of black people have, right? And so it's like, no, I want to sit in front of this room full of people who don't understand me, who don't like me very much, and I want them to clap for me and tell me that I'm worthy, that I'm talented, that I'm capable. And that's a very dangerous position to be in. I mean, can you imagine if the whole world, I don't know, imagine if your worst enemy only felt good about herself if Nomalanga said good things about her. You know what I
It
mean?
fell apart if I didn't.
Right, you could destroy her. You
Right.
literally would use that in whatever way you could to get what you wanted. Well, okay,
Right.
give me money and I'll tell you that you're pretty. Oh, you don't have money? Well, you're fat and ugly. And if they're dumb enough to believe that, then that's what's going to happen, right? And so
Right.
in Hollywood, that's what you see. You see these black people just engaging in just massive, I mean, really just chronic and debilitating amounts of coonery to impress these folks that control their dignity, access to their
Right.
dignity and self esteem. You got black men going to Hollywood, putting on dresses, throwing on wigs, jumping around like little coons. Also, they can get some sort of acknowledgement from these people who've never shown any respect for them. So,
Right.
I just want to ceremoniously say, fuck the Oscars. And I know, I'm sorry, Noma. I know your ears. You just, that I didn't mean to hurt your ears when I said that, but I just have to say that.
I'm sure
Um,
I'll be all right.
okay, good. I hope you're okay. And I had to get it out. You know me. I gotta say what's on my mind. I'm not thinking about the Oscars. I don't respect you. You know, if you get an Oscar, you know what I do? If I meet someone and they brag about getting, say, an Oscar or a Grammy or one of these other white created awards, if I see that that person's really proud of their award, I'll say, "Oh, that's so congratulations!" And really, I'm saying that because, you know, by virtue of the fact that you're so excited about this acknowledgement from white people, I feel bad for you. You know, so I want you to feel better. So I'm going to clap for you because I know that's important to you. But
Right.
honestly, deep down, I'm saying I'm glad you feel good about that because personally, I wouldn't care. You know,
Right.
it would mean literally nothing to me. And so, I just, you know, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you in my own life, I care a whole lot more about what black people think about me than I do about anybody else. You know, in fact, I don't even when I do stuff. People will say things like, "Oh, well, you know, if you do this, you'll be more mainstream, and more, you know, more people outside of the black community will know about you." And I'm like, why would I want that? I mean, and I literally feel that way. I literally am like, why do I want that? That's a bunch of headaches. That means I'm going to get an inbox full of email from, you know, from evil people telling me that they're mad because I don't say what they want me to say. You
Right.
know,
Right.
like, and I don't know. I no, I'm not living that life. I want my dignity, right? And that I just for you know personally, it just feels so much better to feel good about yourself, than it does to, you know, engage in stupid behavior to get money. So anyway, I'm going to stop saying talking about all that, and I didn't mean to use profanity, but that's how I felt. So I'll let you get the last word.
No, I mean, if I was gonna talk, I would echo what you're saying. Maybe I wouldn't be as direct as you are. Like I said, when people show me that they don't respect me or don't want me around, I can certainly pack up and go somewhere where I'm wanted. And it's, in this instance, we're living in a country where the majority of the people are white, and then we're the minorities. So this is something that's going to keep going and keep going and keep going. I just choose not to keep thumping on that door and hoping to be let in and so forth. And I think, well, I don't think, I know you choose not to do that either. And that's really all I have to say. And I get it. You probably will make more money or you will be more famous or whatever it is. And if that's what you choose, then and your dignity and self-respect is what you're willing to sacrifice to get there, then so be it. I just see things differently.
Yeah, maybe you know, maybe the people that sort of do this sort of begging routine, maybe they're just holding out hope. Like maybe they just truly believe in this vision of America as this fair and wonderful country where everyone's treated equally, and God bless them for that. Maybe they're the optimists. Maybe we're the pessimists. Who knows? But I can just say that all throughout history, anytime a group of people that, you know, that's been oppressed has left to sort of create something of their own, usually they were better off a generation down the line. You know,
Right.
I always talk about the Mormons. You know, a lot of people don't know the story of the Mormons. I don't know the details, but I do know that, you know, when they were being persecuted, you know, these were white people mistreating other white people. That's the
Right.
funny thing. As bad as white people treat black people, white people got that habit because they treat each other like crap. I mean, if you look at the history of Europe and the stuff they did to each other, it's like, oh my God, they killed how many millions of people? You know, they were pretty horrible. So the Mormons were being sort of persecuted by, you know, everybody else. And so the Mormons didn't just sit there and say, well, why won't you be nice to us? Brigham Young, you know, said, okay, let's go find a place that's, you know, that's unoccupied and build our own. So
Right.
they packed up 250 covered wagons and they went all the way across the country, out west where there's hardly nothing except the Native
Hmm.
Americans, of course, which is a nice little footnote in history that we need to keep always remember. But they went out west and they were looking for the Great Salt Lake. And the Great Salt Lake was like this abandoned area, you know, that nobody else was able to live. And they went there and they planted some potatoes and stuff and started building little houses, and a bunch of them died. Like a third to a half of them died on this trip. That's how badly they wanted their freedom. And they
Hmm.
built up stuff. They built their own universities, and now you look at Salt Lake City now, it's one of the most amazing, wealthiest places ever. Mitt Romney's a
Right.
billionaire. They got other billionaires there, these massive institutions. And it never would have happened if Brigham Young had not said, to hell with this persecution. We have dignity. We have the right to be free. We're going to go build something of our own.
Right.
Former slaves don't always have that same conviction and determination, and that's what I want us to do, is to realize that we can be more than just former slaves. We're human beings and we're worthy of dignity. So if the Oscars keep rejecting you and you're in Hollywood, build your own. Stop begging these people. They don't like you. They keep telling you that. So anyway, all right.
They keep showing you.
They keep yeah, there you go. They show you, they don't tell you.
They
So
don't
maybe
tell, they just show you.
there, maybe that's the
It
reason
speaks
for the
louder.
confusion, right? Maybe they have to actually say it for you to
Yeah.
believe it. I don't know. It's crazy. All right. Well, thank you very much, Noma. I appreciate it.
Thank you. This has been fun.
Yes, it has been fun. So, everybody, this is Miss Noma Mushali Moses. You can find her at healthyblackwoman.com. She also teaches people how to homeschool their kids. So, you can go to theblackhomeschoolguide.com and find out how to homeschool your kids, whether they go to school or not. Educating our own kids is very important for our community, so you should go check it out. It's really good stuff. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World. And once again, I just want to say, fuck the Oscars. All right, talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.